What's going on, everybody? Your boy C445 here today. Before we bust out some twerking, we're going to be talking about the big Philadelphia Eagles trade today where we landed Timmy Jernigan and swapped third rounders with the Baltimore Ravens. So essentially we traded down 25 picks, which, yeah, that's going to sting a little bit. I think the third round is a money round in this year's draft class in terms of, you know, the two positions that you think the Philadelphia Eagles. I think there's going to be a great round to get corners. I think it'll be a good round if we look at addressing the wide receiver position. But, you know, maybe the draft board, we have no idea what the draft board's going to look like, especially in that third round. But Joe Mixon, everybody. We'll probably have to get him in the second round. But anyway, talking about Timmy Jernigan, everyone's pretty hyped. I mean, on paper, we did fleece. That's a cool word, cool buzzword that people like to use. We did in a way. But, I mean, looking at the Ravens, it was a smart deal for him because they were never going to be able to re-sign Timmy Jernigan. They have too much money allocated there. You have Michael Pierce, who's more than capable enough to kind of step up on the defensive line and play there with Brandon Williams. So, I mean, this is basically, it's a guy, it's kind of like what we had with Eric Rowe. Not the same, but Eric Rowe, we were never going to re-sign him. It pretty much deemed that he wasn't a fit in Jim Squirt's scheme, so try to get something while we can get some value before we just let him walk. It's the same kind of scenario for Baltimore, so it is a fleecing in terms of what we're getting in a player, but, I mean, from Baltimore's side of things, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't just like the Brandon Cooks trade where I already made a video. I don't want to keep going back to the Brandon Cooks trade. But overall, man, this is a great move for the Philadelphia Eagles. Timmy Jernigan, young, definitely, you know, you can look at it as an upgrade over Bo Allen. I think Bo Allen's very solid, and he'll be our primary run-stopping defensive tackle, but that's his ceiling. Jernigan obviously could chip in the run and get some pressure after the quarterback, which is what you always need in a Jim Swartz scheme. So, I mean, it's definitely better to have Timmy Jernigan and Bo Allen than just having Bo Allen and then someone you'd probably take in the mid-rounds of this year's draft class. You know, there are some not character concerns, but, you know, level of, you know, the work ethic. There's some work ethic concerns with Timmy Jernigan that's kind of been with him ever since he came out of Florida State. But he's a great fit for the Philadelphia Eagles, and very, very happy. Big move for us. Big enough that I made a video. I didn't make a video with the Patrick Robinson or the Chris Long. Both those signings I think were decent depth signing. Nothing really to rant and rave about. But this is really great value for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the one thing is, people are saying that he's a huge upgrade over Benny Logan. It's apples and oranges. I made a tweet about this. Benny Logan was the yin to Fletcher Cox's yang. Fletcher Cox was the guy that you wanted to go get after the quarterback. You didn't need to worry because Benny Logan was staying home, and if they were going to run the ball, they audible it to a run. Doesn't matter if Fletcher Cox gets lost in the backfield. Benny Logan's going to be back there holding the fort, stopping, eating up the space. We don't get that with Timmy Jernigan. Timmy Jernigan is also going to fucking put his hand on the ground, his ears back, and he's going after that quarterback. So I still think Benny Logan brought better complement to our defensive line than what we're getting Timmy Jernigan. But if you look at the straight comparisons, which is what a lot of people will, Benny Logan, 27 years old, had 5.5 sacks in 51 starts. Timmy Jernigan, 24 years old, and has 13 sacks in 26 starts. It's a better scheme fit. Jernigan was playing a 3-4 in Baltimore. Now he's coming to a 4-3. It's a great pick for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially, you know, with the assumption that we're going to have decent cap next year. And if Jernigan really plays well, we have a higher likelihood of re-signing him than the Baltimore Ravens ever would have. I don't think there's any chance that the Ravens were planning on re-signing him. So, all in all, big move for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're getting a guy that's 24 years old that's going to really solidify our defensive line. I guess you could say in terms of talent, we did replace Benny Logan, but we're not replacing what Benny Logan brought to this team. It's still a step down in that regard, but more pressure, man. We struggled getting final end sacks next year. And having Timmy Jernigan, Fletcher Cox, and Brandon Graham, that's pretty goddamn terrifying. And then you have Chris Long, and you assume Vinny Curry rotating on the other side. That is a very good defensive front. And once again, in my biased opinion, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best front seven in the NFC East. Whew. Take that, Giant fans. But I know what you guys think about the Timmy Jernigan trade in the comment section below. You know, and I will say there will be a live stream tonight, so stay tuned for that. Not exactly sure what the time is. We're kind of working on baby time, so I have to kind of work around my little son. But it will be happening, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.